Yeah. I always pictured I would be one of the greatest. Become every sense of the word and stun on those who hate it. Something that I was given my parents that couldn't take it. Resilience to every stone that was cast, I demonstrated. Every stone I put in bracelets. Beauty underrated.
Welcome to another edition of the Rob and Rob for Life podcast. I'm your gracious host, Rob Bruin, along with my good brother, Rob McLean. What's the word, bro?
Yeah, we got New York in the building. You know it's
that.
crazy, bro.
Talk
It's
to
just
me.
it's just nice seeing somebody from your city when you were born and raised just killing in the
Holding it
media
down.
industry, bro.
Nah, that's a fact. And we here in the building to give him his flowers while he's here because he's definitely killing it in the space. Naji, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's up, brothers, man? I appreciate y'all having me on, yo.
Yeah, just so y'all know, he's a media talent. He's the director of urban strategy at the Orchard and Sony, and he's a huge music head in the game. So he's definitely killing it. And we just appreciate you being here, bro.
That's right.
Thank you for having me, dog.
Yeah, so let's start here, bro. How important is hip hop to America?
To America, wow. Man, you know what? Like, Black culture is American culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. And hip hop is the epicenter of that. You know what I'm saying? The way we move, the way we talk, the way we think. You know what I mean? The way we interact with each other is polarizing. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, like it started with us, but the genre has got so big. I don't even say genre, just the music part, but the culture itself has gotten so big that we the coolest thing, not even just America, globally. You know what I'm saying? I travel a lot, and traveling outside the country, and you see just how like shit that started up in the Bronx is affecting things
everywhere.
It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful to be a part of it, man, and to be Black and to be in the middle of what we doing, man. It's an amazing feeling.
That's a fact. I can't even knock that. It's just like when you know you're tied and you're connected to something, it give you that swag and that chip on your shoulder. Like, nah, like we here.
That's a
you know what I'm saying? So I
More
definitely
comfortable too.
Oh, absolutely.
Move different.
Facts.
Naji, for me and Rob, sports is our passion, but for you, it's music. Why music?
Nah, don't get it twisted. I fuck with sports heavy too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm a dad. Grew up playing ball. I grew up playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? I like.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Francis Lewis in Queens.
Oh, you went to Francis Lewis? Okay, copy.
Actually, I went to St. Francis Prep my freshman year.
Oh, word? You went to Prep?
Yeah, I went to Prep. Okay. Yeah, I was playing ball over there at Prep. I got kicked out. I was a little different back then.
Dang.
Back in the day, I was a little different. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
But then I went to Francis Lewis after that. Yeah. But yeah, man, like it's I just love I love culture in general. So basketball. I love boxing too. Boxing is one of my favorite sports. But I guess music for me just clicked. Like I just I kind of just had a passion for. I always listen to music. I never envisioned myself on some like I'm gonna be in the industry. I never thought that. That's kind of just the way life maneuvered and took me. But it's just dope to kind of take part in something that like it can make you feel. You know what I'm saying? It could change your mood. It could inspire. It could it just does a lot of things. So I guess for me, just kind of being able to come up in that, and I'm a Jay-Z fan. I grew up listening to Hov. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's that music just always kind of been there for me.
I feel that.
That's a fact. A lot of people don't really realize like all these famous artists, they're just like us. They like doing the same shit that like we like to do. Do you have any like close relationships with any of them?
Yeah, man. I know a bunch of artists, man. Like I know a bunch of artists. I would say, like as far as close, just really the people that is on my label and I work with, right? Like we kind of develop, or my distribution rather, but we develop relationships kind of just working together all the time. So from like, G Herbo and Joyner Lucas, the Flatbush Zombies, I got the shirt on, Zombies.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of, acquaintances and stuff like that. But
I feel that. Close is a different vibe.
Yeah, it's a different, like, I still got my friends from the neighborhood still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, those are my friends.
I definitely feel you on that. Yo, Naj, when you think about music, who are the first three people that come to mind?
Damn. That's a good question, bro. Probably for me, Jay-Z just synonymous with rap music. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not like super active, right? Like he ain't out here just dropping music a lot or whatever, but
because he put his work in already.
You know what I mean? It's
just paying that homage. Like
exactly.
If you know, you know.
Exactly.
As we always say. Yeah.
So I guess for me, Hove is one. Two, probably like Drake, man. I'm a Drake fan. I love what Drake doing. I think Drake's run has just been like
he's switching it up too.
Legendary run, you know what I'm saying? So if right now I gotta throw Drake in there. And then I say probably my third, I like Lil Baby a lot, man.
Fact, he's killing it right now.
Lil Baby right now.
Killing it right now.
Woo, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with both of y'all. I don't get it.
What you mean?
I don't get the Lil Baby wave. And I'm not discrediting him at all. I'll be the first to say I don't listen to him that much. I think for me, it's like getting accustomed to his sound. Like Nipsey. I'm not going to tell you that I was a Nipsey fan by far at all, but his sound was you got to be accustomed to how he sound first before you can really, at least for me, before you digest the music. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I said the same thing with the Baby.
Okay.
That shit is different.
Yeah.
It is.
I think for me, man, like with Lil Baby, one, I understand what you mean about the sound. I'm from New York, right? Yeah. So like, actually, like him
sound like that.
From Atlanta, he got his own like little swag. But I think like it's funny you mentioned Nip because rest in peace, Nip. That's one of the first people to really inspire me on some like committing my life to music. I was managing this artist. His name was 360. And we had some buzz. This was probably around like 2012, 2013. And that was just my homie, right? And I was managing him, and we had some buzz. And long story short, we wound up going on the Crenshaw tour with Nip.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That is fire.
So we did, I think, like close to 20 cities. And that was the first time I really got to see Nip up close with his team maneuvering and kind of doing his thing. And I guess what resonated to me, like you said, is different because he, that's LA. Like they in
that's a whole nother vibe, bro.
Whole nother vibe. But the thing is like I feel like, real translates everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
real,
that's a fact.
Real recognize real. So when I'm there and, once you get past the culture barrier of like location and you just break it down to what a nigga's saying, it's like, damn, you know what I mean? And the way he moved and stuff like that. So it's funny you mentioned Nip, man, because that Nip definitely was a crucial point into me feeling like, I could do this for a living.
Yeah, you know what's different though? Funny. A lot of people don't really realize that like there's different type of real, you feel me?
That's a fact.
I'm definitely jacking that. Yo, big toast to Nip, bro. That was
man. Shout out to my brother Nip, man.
Yeah, that's for
sure. Big time.
Nip, that was a tough one to digest, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it because we ain't gonna finish this interview if we dive deep into Nip. But he definitely he inspired a lot of people for sure. Naj, what are your plans within music in terms of helping Black America?
Man, I'm glad you asked that, man, because I guess that's a real important part of this whole journey for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the music shit is cool, and granted, like I'm in this to really do that, right? I got a couple plaques. I guess y'all can't see it the way I'm faced. I got a couple like plaques.
If you want to take us over there, you can take us over.
Give us a little tour.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, so I do it for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely doing it to really impact culture. But I guess the second part of that, man, is like what we can do to really make Black lives better. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop to me, like how we kind of started off saying how impactful it is one of the only things that could really galvanize a bunch of us, you know what I'm saying, and bring us and put us on the same page. And I guess, within that, like obviously, the month of June was one of the craziest months that I've ever seen, like, from all the killings and police brutality and all the protests that sparked globally. I think it was important for me to kind of take, whatever connects I have in the music industry and kind of put that together towards making a difference. So with that, like I know there's a law in New York State that was titled 50A. Essentially what that was is like it allowed police to hide records of brutality from the public, right? So they didn't have to publicize like if some officer does police brutality, they could privatize it and don't nobody know about it, right? So they put up a law basically that had to go through the city council, and Governor Cuomo had to sign. And essentially the only real way to put pressure on these dudes is like to have people making some fucking noise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that, I went to Sony, and shout out to Sony. You know, they backed me, and we got a bunch of different artists that kind of came on board and wrote letters to the senators and congressmen and flooded Governor Cuomo. We kind of created this campaign that essentially, like, you know, motherfuckers is listening. You know what I mean? And, you know, fortunately that law definitely got repealed. So, you know, that's out of here now. And that's kind of what I want to do, man. Take things one by one and just use our muscle to bring awareness to things that mattered more than just the music shit.
Yeah, we appreciate that because music, it brings us together. It does make a change. I feel like sometimes with our culture, we could be against each other and we got to work together, and music just brings us together. We appreciate you making that change for us.
100%, man.
Yeah, no, that's super clutch. Yo, so tell me, what are young artists missing that you see that'll fully make them like a complete artist?
For me, at least I just couldn't really speak for myself when I look to sign artists. I really just look for originality, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like how original you are at being you. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of rap is so commercialized, and, you know, you could get the bag if you're doing it the right way, that I think a lot of people start just trying to follow trends just because they seen somebody else do it and it works. So it's like, all right, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to hop on that wave too.
I'm going to hop on that wave and then try to get my bag up. For me, I really feel like a complete artist is like you really just staying true to who you are and creating what your energy is dictating. You know what I'm saying? It don't really got nothing to do with anybody else. Like, obviously, you're going to be inspired by different people. That's natural. But you kind of take that inspiration and you harness it and develop it to create your own sound and your own wave. So that's really what, you know, what I look for, that I feel like, you know, kind of makes you a complete artist.
I definitely feel you on that. Now, we could touch on so many different things because you've interviewed mad people. You just in that space right now. But we're going to talk about a few things in your career. Tell me how you feel when you walk into the Roc Nation Brunch. You in the spot. You got your suit on. You got your champagne. You hit Diddy with the You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was good.
That's a good feeling, bro. You can't tell me that it's not.
I ain't gonna hold you. That was crazy.
You was feeling good.
Yeah, that was a moment. That was a moment.
I know you was talking your shit with that one.
Oh man, come on, man. I had to call my girl like, yo, babe, you see what I'm doing over there? Like, this nigga lit right now.
We in the spot.
Nah, you know what, man? Like, I think it was super dope, man. Shout out to B-Dot from Rap Radar. That's my man. Me and B-Dot rolled through there together. And you know what? I think it's two parts of it, right? On the surface level, it's like, damn, I'm in here with everybody, right?
You
like,
in the spot.
Real, like, you know, I'm talking Hove and Khaled and T.I.
Everybody.
What? You know what I'm saying? So you kind of in that space where you're able to get that, and that's cool. But I guess kind of what I left with, man, was just like a space where we could be all excellent as Black people together. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of spaces that we have where we could all display our excellence and be on one page, like everybody at a high level, kind of being able to just, you know, share experiences and just kind of kick it and build. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was definitely, you know, a moment, and I was living it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't all the pictures and shit, I didn't really know about all that till like it happened after. You know what I'm saying? I was like the toast with Puff. That was
literally had the toast over.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm here, we here.
So, but it wasn't like, that wasn't a plan. We were just living.
It just somebody caught the moment.
But that was definitely a dope, inspirational moment for me, man. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one, man.
Yeah, nah, I feel that, bro. I feel like when you're in a space like that, people like to say that they believe in luck. I don't believe in that shit. I really feel like everything that was set up for you and how everything pivoted in your life, like you were set up for that moment. I don't know when you got the hit up for the Roc Nation brunch invite, but that shit was playing the whole time, bro. So big salute to you on that, bro. You definitely got to keep pushing for real.
Thank you, man. You know, I definitely, you know what, I do believe in luck, but I don't believe in it to the extent that luck is what gets
I
you.
feel like luck runs out, bro. That's why I don't
That's a
believe in it.
fact.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying? You can only
fact.
be lucky, but so many times.
So many
That's a
times.
fact.
You
You
know
know
what I mean?
saying?
So
And
like after a while, it's like, damn, this
That's
shit
a
was
fact.
for me.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to come to that realization after a while, because luck, it's like percentages. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
it's just not in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So I need you to scratch that, bro. That shit for you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate
That's
that.
how I feel.
I'm gonna drink to that.
Word.
You interviewed 50 Cent on Cigar Talk. I know that's your idol. You guys briefly talked about how time and moments are so crucial and important. I know you're from Queens and he's from Queens. What was that moment like?
Man, dog, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. That it was surreal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had 50 Cent's post on my wall growing up. Like, you feel me? Like, Get Rich or Die Trying. That was a moment. Like, I
That's his
remember that.
best
That was
album too.
Fire.
like classic album. Like I said, is in that interview, I remember telling him like, I remember being in 9th grade, cutting school to go get that. You know what I mean? Come
Yeah,
back
I
to
saw
school.
that in the interview.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just dope, man. I'm privileged, man, and blessed to be in a space where I got the chance to talk to 50 on camera, but even more off camera, we've been really building. You know what I'm saying? And just to be able to have somebody that you idolized and looked up to growing up, as a resource for you or just somebody to talk to, man, that's just it's crazy. Life be crazy sometimes, man.
Nah, that's a Fendi. Yo, I was really feeling the 50 interview because he was dropping some gems, even really how he just talked about how he just saw the bigger picture when he was getting 17 bands an episode with Power. I mean, to a regular person, that's a lot of money,
wow.
but we're not going to front like that's not a lot of money. It is, but when you in his space and you making the type of business moves, that's not a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? It's 10 episodes. That's 170K for Power. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he saw the bigger vision.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people not try to play 50, but try to front like he don't got his shit together. You know what I'm saying? And it was just dope to see him in that spot and really just break down to us really how he went play by play about it. So how that really affect you when you heard him say that?
It was more just a confirmation for me, man. Like, because I've done the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So just to know and understand that, like, I'm doing something that he's doing that just lets me know, man, I'm doing the right
that's
thing.
That confirmation.
100%. And when I say that, I mean, like, meaning the idea is just like, as a hustler, you got to understand that a lot of things and opportunities are bigger than the money at the time that you're making it. You know what I'm saying? Everything just ain't about like, yo, right now I got to make the bread. So I say that to say is I took shorts on a lot of things and a lot of moves I wanted to make because I understood like, yo, there's a long-term play. Everything ain't short-term. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's what I got out of that 50 interview was just, that portion of it was like, he was making, he had power and he had the long-term play. So he was like, yo, listen, I'm going to take this little bread that they got right now. I'm going to hustle and do what I got to do. And then when I re-up, I'm going to charge them triple. You know what I'm saying? And
Smart.
You feel me? So
that's how it goes.
How I look at it, that's just what hustlers do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, everything ain't about the right now. So it was just more like, it just kind of built me up, letting me know that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, and also tell me this. I mean, I feel like none of us really have a price tag. Do you really feel like even when somebody gives you like a salary, it's not even really what you're worth anyway? Or is that like a loaded question, kinda?
Yeah, a little bit. But so one, you don't in corporate America anywhere, you don't get what your value is, what you negotiate, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it ain't about just like whatever your value is. It's about what you're going to how you're going to negotiate that to get what you want, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, I guess, what comes with that is leverage, right? Like, do you have the leverage enough to command what it is that you're looking for? What was the other part of the question again? I forgot. It was something else.
I was asking you the other parts was really like, if you feel like you ever got what you feel like you were deserving of. Like, even though they say, like, they might feel like you're worth a certain amount, but do you ever feel like you actually get that? I guess you could say.
I'm not doing too bad today. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't doing too bad today.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely getting there, but it takes time, yo. That's one thing I really want to let anybody who's watching this know, like, this journey to really getting to where I've gotten to, or where I see other people going, it takes time to really get there. Like, you got to build. It ain't just,
It's not
you
just
come in the
happening.
industry, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It takes time to really get there. So when you do, you know what I'm saying, you just got to really seize the moment. I know for me, I think, at least at Sony, the first person I was instrumental in bringing in terms of signing was this kid named Baby King. And, he did really well and got a gold plaque his first time out. And I guess from there, that was when people understood, like, damn, like, oh shit, maybe he know what he's talking about. And then from there, I was able to kind of command leverage and do different
Now
things.
you coming over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really about just value, how you show your value. And then from there, once you show the value, then you can command the price point that you're looking for.
Nah, I feel that.
That's major.
Really break down for us how pivotal it was for you, working with Rap Radar, and how much you really enjoyed that experience.
Man, it's been fruitful, yo. Straight up. Shout out to B-Dot and Elliot. Like I said, B-Dot, that's my man. From Queens, we went to the same barbershop. So I met B-Dot at the barbershop.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's how me and him
That's how y'all met?
Yeah. At the shop.
Yeah. Y'all already know, at the shop, we just meet, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I met B-Dot at the barbershop, and I think at the time he was at Double XL. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, B-Dot, that was like really the only person I knew that was in the industry at that time, you know what I'm saying? And then, we kind of just got cool. And then, like I said, the artist that I was managing that I went on tour with Nip, him and Dot was friends too. So I think, long story short, the artist, he wound up, what happened with the management situation, he wound up getting locked up. He did 5 years. So when he got locked up, I was in a space where I'm like, damn, like, what am I about to do? Like, I just built up this whole thing, and then now, like, it's done. So, from there, I really just hit up B-Dot, like, yo, I need to get on that radar, bro. Like, let me, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just glad, and I'm really appreciative that, B-Dot and Elliot, they saw something in me enough to really, just rock out on the platform and give me my own space to create. And it was like, they let me do me. It wasn't like nobody babysitting me, none of that. It's just like, yo, like,
how you that doing your thing.
Do you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's what it was. I'm grateful for that opportunity, though. For real.
Yeah. I'm not even going to something that I low-key admire about you, too. You don't even go up there with no cards or nothing. You just sit back in your chair, light your cigar, and do your thing. Yeah. I mean, that's a powerful mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know me, I like to have my points, make sure I hit, because I be tight when the interview's over and I wanted to touch on something that I didn't touch. But I think that's a dope gift to have too, as well, to just be able to sit down and it look better on camera too, because you stunting, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro,
holding
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I could have just took that compliment, but like, I do be having shit that's up. Nobody just can't see it though. I got a little. Yeah. I could have just took that. Though. I appreciate that.
I feel you though. Shout out to the team though.
Yeah, facts. Sure. I gotta ask you, when you creating content, how are you able to just balance what the people want while putting your signature touch? Because I feel like sometimes what you think is good is not what the people want. So how are you just able to just balance that?
That's a good question, man. I think I guess my balance, and like I said, when I told y'all about artists, like just being true to yourself, that's kind of what I try to do with what I create content. Like what you see, like the conversations I'm having, that's me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I really talk in real life. I'm not doing anything extra or putting on.
Sound exactly the same to me too.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, there's certain people that they come in, they're creating content and they're like, all right, I'm about to try to be controversial, or I want to be like Charlemagne or Joe Budden and do this and yell it. Like, that's not my, I really just kind of stick to who I am and what I do. And, people gonna fuck with it or they're not. It's really
that's
those
what
two
it
things.
is.
Like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But in terms of like, when I say that, is like, I'm not the type, like, I'm not gonna shy away from any questions I have. Like, I'm gonna ask you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna necessarily, I might not ask it like Charlemagne, come straight at your head and stuff like that.
But he's different. He's different.
Yeah, he's different. I respect it. Because that's really him. Like, when you hang out with Charlemagne, he's like that.
Yeah, that's really his vibe.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So for me, my balance is, I just kind of keep it true to myself. And, I definitely ask the questions that I feel like people want to know, but I do it in my way. And I'm not going to let nobody dictate my way. If you want to do it your way, then, set up an
cool.
interview.
Yeah, that's a fact. 'Cause
Nah, I feel
one
that.
thing that I realized is watching your videos, your energy. You know, in this media industry, you can have good days and bad days, but your energy always stays the same. How important is that, not just for the viewers, but for yourself, just to just contain the energy every day?
Man, that's everything, dog. Like, and I'm glad you said that. I really appreciate that too, because again, like there's definitely been times where I came into interviews and I'm like, different things going on and you don't feel the same, but you gotta maintain that
Yeah.
standard and be able to,
Facts.
still
You gotta
perform at
keep your
that level
mental right.
100%. And then also the energy, it don't just affect you, it affects the guest, right? Like
It
the energy
do.
of your energy is
That's
gonna
a
radiate to
fact.
the guests and kind of dictates
Yeah.
how they gonna feel and how they gonna take to your questions. If your energy is down, they gonna be down. And I know when I have interviews, for me, I always tell people this, it feels like a date to me, like a first date, right? Like, yo, we here, I'm trying to get you to feel comfortable enough to open up to me and tell me
It's a
things,
fact. You gotta
you know
warm it
what I'm
up.
saying? You gotta warm it up. You know what I'm saying? We all know why we here. We want the big moment, right? But you can't
You
just
want
come out and
you
get
want the
that.
truth.
Yeah,
It's
you know
a
what I'm saying?
fact.
You gotta
Yeah.
warm it up. So I think that the energy, man, it's an important part of it. And again, like people feed off of that. Energy is contagious, man. So I feel like everybody in the room could feel it when the energy is positive and negative. And I haven't always had good interviews. Like the interview I did with the baby, that shit went left too. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, nah, we go touch your
Yeah, you know
interviews
what
in
I'm
a
saying? So
minute.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like shit, just energy
It
is
go
very
left
important.
sometime.
Yeah,
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 nah.
sure.
We
Yeah, like,
also know. Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
bro.
Rob. I was gonna say, like, it's always good. Like, it's easier to get that positive vibe, but it's harder to maintain it. You feel me? It'd be
Yeah.
hard. So, like, what do you do just to like maintain that energy, that good vibe that you have?
Yo, for the most part, man, like I said, I'm just cognizant of trying to just be me. I think that's where the energy kind of stems from is just your energy. So that's kind of how I am like in life. Like I just look at things positively and I just try to, I just try to be cool, man. I never take nothing too
Yeah.
serious. It ain't
Mm.
no all this extra clout shit. Like it ain't never that serious. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
That's a fact.
you just come in and you do your job, you have a good time while you're doing it, and hopefully everybody else enjoys what you doing.
That's a fact.
Nah,
Go
that's a
ahead, Rob.
fatty. We all know that in this industry, at least you know more than us, it's important to stay relevant. Do you ever really feel like sometimes you're overlooked or underrated?
Mm.
Good question. Um, yeah, yeah. There's definitely
I was
times I feel
hoping you
like,
would say that. I'm like, yo, he better not say no.
yeah, nah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm keeping 100. Like, yeah,
Talk your
like
shit.
I feel like it's definitely like, cause I watch the landscape. I watch everybody. I watch what people doing. I see the other interviews. I'm studying. I study shit. You feel me? So I definitely feel like I'm on a level that I could compete at the highest level. You know what I mean? I'm competitive. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about a nigga that like, I'm not satisfied being in the league. I'm trying to be on the all-star team, B. You
That's
feel
a
me?
fact.
Like that's how
Top
I'm on.
five.
Yeah, you feel
I
me?
get
So
that championship type shit.
absolutely. So I definitely, I definitely feel underrated in the sense that, I feel like I've put a lot of work. I put up a lot of numbers on that scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? And I just want
It's a
people to
fact.
know and see that. That scoreboard
Yeah.
is a
That
lot of
50
numbers.
interview did numbers.
You feel me? You
Super.
know what I'm saying? So,
It's
but at the
it's
same time,
almost touching a mill soon.
yeah, in a couple weeks to be
It's
a million.
soon.
I got a couple million interview. You know what I mean? A couple interviews in
Yeah.
the millions. But for me, I still keep it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, I feel that way. But at the same time, this is my third year doing media. It's my third year doing interviews. And I dare say that anybody that I'm competing against in their third year not doing what I'm doing in
They
my
not
third year.
so you in a different
Yeah.
league anyway.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to keep it in perspective. Like even though I have a lot of ambition and I'm trying to be that guy, like I'm going for that. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm on that.
like yeah, like I'm on that. Like you can't come without interviewing me. You can't do that. Like I'm trying to be that. I'm trying to become that. But in the same space, I know that you got to put in the work. So anybody that I'm comparing myself to, whether it's like Elliot, Charlemagne, Joe, Adam, and No Jumper, whatever. These people have been putting in a lot of work, and you got to respect that. You got to put your work in. You know what I mean? So at the same time, while I do feel like I'm underrated, I just put my head down and keep working, and the rest is gonna take care of itself.
That's a fact. There's definitely like levels to like the interviewing. Like right now, me and Rob is learning from you. Like when you interviewing somebody, you learning from that person. You mentioned how you gain knowledge from 50. Who's that one person that just gave you like a gem that you're gonna remember for like the rest of your life?
You mean from an interview perspective or just in general?
Yeah, like from an interview perspective.
Probably be that. I know one thing he said to me that always stuck with me and really helped shift and craft my style of interviews, because I interview a lot of obviously artists and stuff. I interview other than that, but I interview a lot of artists, and it's so fucking simple, but it's real. Which is like, he told me, he was like, "Yo, when you making questions, everything that you want to know or ask is in the music. Like, listen to the music, and that's where you really get your questions from. That's where the artist is putting all their information, all of the stuff that
that's where all the answers is at.
It's, you know what I'm saying? That's where the answers is really at. Yeah. So
you got to do your homework.
Exactly. And I feel like, most interviewers I see today, they might just, look at a couple articles, you know what I'm saying? You might Wikipedia, but they're not really listening to the music like that. I think that's why a lot of people fuck with me, because a lot of the questions I ask is like, yo, you said this. What did you mean by that? And then they be like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of evokes a different energy because you're talking about something that they said, right? You're not talking about like made up questions or whatever.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think for me, I think that's one of the biggest interview gems I got, is like when I'm talking to people, one, I do my research. I do a lot of research. Like, I see y'all doing that too, which is super dope. And then two, like I said, I'm listening to the music, bro. I'm a music head, so I'm actually diving into the work that they putting out.
Got you.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's real pivotal, especially what you touched on before, in terms of like Elliot and B Dot having a path, right? You being your third year in, I didn't even know that. I knew that you started Cigar Talk 3 years ago, but I know that's exactly when you started. But I'm just saying that to say, like, I feel like sometimes even being in this space, not saying that you do it, but we tend to compare. You know what I'm saying? And when we don't keep our eyes focused on our path, it could like take us off a little bit, because it's like, damn, B Dot really sat down in Drake new crib. You feel me? Like, B Dot was in his crib, literally sitting in the living room where he made the Tootsie Slide video in. You feel me? Sure. So when you think about that, it's like, that's fire for B Dot, but that's cool for him. That's not me yet. Or maybe that wasn't for me yet. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's all like real important that we just embrace our journey. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so important, because what you going through, that just makes your story so much better. You know what I mean?
That's so important, man. And it's definitely something I had to learn. Cause like, I guess when I first started off, that's what I was doing. Like, damn, how come this person
I ain't get that?
Yeah, how come they got this list and they on this and that? Like, I started off doing that, and that shit fucks
tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that put a lot of pressure on you.
100%. But once I really realized, like, at the end of the day, bro, like, your journey is your journey. That's it. Like, you can't compare your journeys, man. Like, the way it's gonna work for you is gonna be different than the way it's gonna work for somebody else. Everybody gonna get it at their time. So, from there, like they talk about tunnel vision, and that's kind of what I really embraced, between tunnel vision and how Nipsey's always said, which is the marathon. You feel me? Like, I ain't in this shit for the sprint. You know what I mean? Like, this is a marathon, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be times where sometimes you running slow, sometimes you go pick up the speed. You know what I mean? But when you in it for longevity, as long as you in that race and you in it for longevity, then you understand that just kind of put your head down and keep working.
No, that's a fact. You playing for keeps.
For sure.
That's a fact. So I also really feel like it's real imperative that we really understand like how it is to conduct the interview. You know what I'm saying? What's the toughest parts to hosting an interview? Because I know there's been times, like you kind of just brought up the baby a few minutes ago, where you have moments where people like say they down to be interviewed, and then they get to the interview and they don't want to speak.
Yeah, they're not ready.
It's like,
do it. Yeah.
It's like, yo, why did you? It's happened to me before, but I try my best not to. Yeah, nah, it's happened to me. I'll be very direct about it, and I just try not to be as direct and aggressive about it, because it's like, yo, why did you answer my email? Why did you say you wanted? I didn't pull your arm. I asked you. I'm gonna shoot my shot, but you didn't have to come here. But I feel like that kind of comes with being the interviewer as well. Like when Joe Budden sat down with Wale, for the first 20 minutes, Wale wasn't talking about shit.
Yeah.
And Joe Budden literally said, like, yo, this is the very reason why I got you here, was so people don't look at you like this. Are you gonna talk or not? then finally he opened up. I mean, that's probably just Wale. I don't know him personally, but yeah, just talk to like difficult interviewers, bro.
Man, yo, dog, that's a part of the game that you're gonna have to go through. Nobody gonna make 100% of their shots. Sometimes your shots gonna be off. You know what I mean? And you just gotta live with that. And I'll say for me, like I said, I mentioned the baby, but one thing I'll tell y'all, I never told nobody this actually, like except my close, friends, but I did an interview at Roddy Ricch. And this was in December.
I seen a clip of that or something.
So what you saw was
little picture or something. I saw a picture. I'm lying. I didn't see a clip.
Yeah, you seen the picture. I never put out the actual interview. I put out just the picture. So what happened, I had Roddy Ricch came through. It was one of those situations, like you said, the energy was already kind of weird. I feel like he's just a weird individual anyway. You know what I'm saying? But the energy was already kind of weird when he came in. Like I said, I'm a professional, so I'm gonna do my job, and we're gonna do what it is. So we're going through the interview, and again, like I told you, I take a lot of my questions from the music. So I'm asking him about different shit that he talk about. Like he spoke about jail in a couple of his raps, so I asked him about that. He speak about lean in a lot of his raps, so I asked him about lean. And I think I asked him about lean, and he got tight, right? So I asked him, I forget exactly what the question was, but I said something like, you talk about lean in your music, like whatever. I forgot whatever the question was, and then he was just like, "Yo, why you keep talking about negative shit?" And then right, so, yeah, this
came like that.
Yeah, just like that, straight up. He said, "Why you keep talking about negative shit?" And I said, I didn't say if it, I told him, I said, listen, I didn't say if it's negative or positive. I'm talking to you about what you talk about in your music. This is what you speak about, so I'm asking you about it. Yeah. And then it got quiet, and we just stared at each other for like 10 seconds. Nobody said nothing. We just stared at each other.
It was like some
stare down.
Straight up. I mean, for me, it's like I'm a grown ass man, so I'm not like about to.
You're not about to sit here and play with me, bro.
Yeah, like he a kid, so I'm not even on some fight energy, but I'm just trying to figure out what type of time you want.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What kind of energy you want. So we staring at each other, and then I'm just like, I think you still want to do this interview
or not?
You out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I just ask a question then. Ask a question. So, like I said, I could have ended it right there, but I was trying to be professional.
You was mature enough in that situation, though.
Yeah, but the energy could have
went left.
But it already went. The energy was already fucked up, and it went left or whatever. Yeah. So, long story short, if I would have put it out, it probably would have went viral. Just like seeing it because it was so like
it was staticky.
Yeah, people love the staticky shit, so it probably would have went viral off of that. And I was gonna put it out, but I had some conversations with Atlantic Records, and we kind of had to figure things out.
It's not the best.
So long story short, we came to an agreement on me not putting it out. We came to an agreement. So I respect it. I'm a man of my word, so I ain't put it out. But yeah, man, sometimes shit go left, dog. I still got it though in my archives. I ain't gonna let nobody see it, but I still got it.
That's a fact. You got to keep it in the holster.
Yeah, we commend you on that, because sometimes, I know me, sometimes I'm the type of person, I like to match energy. So the fact that you just kept on doing the interview is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that guy, bro. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna always keep a cool head, unless if you take it there, I'm gonna take it there with you. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to. I'm always keep my cool level head. There's nothing really you could say to me, but that's gonna make me mad. And like, I'm not that guy. Like, you can't say nothing. If you want to do something, that's a whole different story. But like, I just kind of took it for what it was. You could be upset. I'm cool with that. Like, it's gonna be.
That's what it is.
Yeah, like
that's a fact. So, what really pushed you to the rebirth? Not the rebirth, for the birth of Cigar Talk. Like, how'd that really come about?
I guess so. The initial idea, it was really because. So I'll tell you, there's two parts to it. The first, where I got the cigar part from, I was at Made in America one year, and I was backstage. Yeah, I was backstage, and there's a dude named Pecos. He used to work for Roc Nation, and Pecos is a big cigar guy. So he was giving out cigars, and there was a bunch of people there. It was like CC Sabathia, A-Rod, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio. It was just mad random.
Oh, so it was mad people in the spot.
Yeah, it was just mad random celebrities that was all there smoking cigars. So we all just there talking and chilling, smoking. and the vibe just felt so
It
bossed
felt right.
up. Like, you over there, like, you know what I'm saying? And I never forgot that moment. Like, it was such a moment that I remembered that, and I just remembered the vibe, and I was like, damn, Cigar Talk. I was like, yo, I gotta do that. So that's kind of how I thought of it. And then the initial part, like, why I really started Cigar Talk, I didn't start it on some, like, you know, media shit. I really started it, like, I work for Sony now. Prior to me actually getting this job, I was trying to get in the label system for years, bro. Like, I applied probably for like 2 years straight, 3 years straight, not getting no callbacks, nothing. I got one callback from Atlantic, and I didn't get that job. So, like, I'm applying for everything. And I just remember at that time, I was like, yo, this shit not working. Like, me just giving a resume to somebody is not doing
it's
nothing.
Not hitting.
Not enough.
At all. So I was like, yo, I gotta do something that's gonna be like, my resume stands out. So, like, I don't gotta give you my resume. You could just Google me, and then you could see everything that I did. And that's kind of why I was like, yo, I gotta do some content so that people could see, like, this is my online resume, so you could see what it is. You could go to my gram and see what type of time I'm on. I don't have to give you a paper. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started it. And then once I really started it, I started to really form a love for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I love the concept because I think it's super dope. And like you were saying before, like, it just puts you in your element. You know, you could tell that's where you're comfortable, and you just create super fire content out of it. So I can't even knock that or be mad at you for that. It's super fire. Nah, definitely. Your top 5 interviews so far.
Man, 50 for sure. Nicki for sure. That Nicki one was crazy. That was a big moment for me. That changed a lot of shit for me. The Swiss Beats early. Swizz looked out for me early on. That was like my 5th or 6th episode. Swizz. I thought that was dope. Bow Wow. Actually, that was a classic episode. The Bow Wow episode, that shit was fire. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Bow Wow. That was a dope one. And then probably the last one that stick out, maybe I'm gonna just throw the baby in there because that shit went left. Like, you gotta throw some shit in there that throw some shit in there.
That's a fact. So I would say this: where do you really see yourself as a whole with your body of work within 3 years? Where do you see yourself, I guess you could say, for real, in like the next 5 years?
Man, it's always hard for me to answer that question because you know, if you would ask me 5 years ago, what would I see here now? It's not what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's always kind of hard for me to answer that. But I think I just started really getting to a point in my career where, you know, things are working for me. Things are opening up. Doors are starting to really open. And I'm just on some mogul shit, bro. Like, I'm a hustler at the end of the day. So I'm not relegated to just like content labels. I got a bunch of different things that I'm doing and maneuvering behind the scenes. You know, I'm just trying to put on for the culture, bro. That's really it.
We definitely got to salute you, bro. Give you your toast. We appreciate everything that you're doing in the industry right now, and we appreciate you, you know, enlightening us and mentoring us. So we definitely appreciate you, bro. To you.
I appreciate you, brothers, man. Keep going, man. I love what y'all doing, man.
Absolutely, bro. We definitely got to push it for the culture. So it's the Rob and Rob for Life podcast. We had Naj in the building. He did his thing along with my good brother, Rob McLean, and we appreciate y'all tuning in.
Was told to believe if you're not a scholar, get addiction. A boy like you in the league, only way that people paying. I started believing that I was one that wouldn't make it. That gave me more reason to question pictures people painted. I stopped giving a fuck.